We're gonna do a watercolor painting of this tangerine, we also call a Mandarin orange. And let's start with a drawing for compositions. Let's take a look where we're gonna put the main part of the orange. And before I use my pencil, I will try to just get an idea, but just moving on my fingers on the paper to see where it's gonna go. And I'm gonna also include the leaves up here, and there will be a catch the shadow on this side. Maybe have a little folding in the background. So let's take a look. Maybe right here. Maybe right here, and I have the leaf coming out this way. Okay, now I got an idea of that. So let's do that. Use some broken line just to get the idea of where this is going to place. And the leaves on this side. Here we go. I think we're getting somewhere. And just quickly mark the thing that I'm going to include in the painting. And we can make changes. You don't need to think that whatever you draw the first time, it's going to stay there forever. Doesn't need to be that way. You could change it at any time you want if you don't like it. Especially in the drawing process, you can change that. Okay. And a couple small part right here. Okay. And there is just 2 leaves on this side. Okay, and on this side, I may want to make the leaf a little bit bigger. This one. A little bit higher, right here. Okay. That. And then I come back to fine-tune the shape of the main orange. Now I need to make it a little bit lower, like this, a 1/4 inch lower. Okay. And around the top over here, I try to draw as much as I need to. The more that you make up your mind in this step, the better it would be for you when you are doing the watercolor painting. Move that. And there's some small shape up here. And also mark the part for the catch the shadow, for the shadow side and the catch the shadow. So try to work out a shape. The shape is very important. Shape is everything we're looking for. Okay, so on this, going up, this is the catch the shadow area. And there's some small shape over here. I want to pick it up. And also, I want to have a little white shape over here on this part. And also I like to keep this a little folding, but I'm going to turn the angle a little bit more away from vertical. So make it going toward a little bit more to the right side. Okay. As I talk about, it may be create a little folding over here. How much detail I'm going to include, and I don't have to decide at this point. We're going to see when we do the painting, it may be figure out a balance and whether or not that need to be there, or maybe we don't want it to be there. Okay, the second part over here, Here is just the highlights. So I want to also quickly mark the area for the highlight. And how we're going to do the highlight, we're going to also talk about it. And there's just a few ways we can create the highlights. If this highlight have a very flat areas, like a clear shapes, and in that case, we can just leave the areas to be white. And that's it. We don't have to do much to it because the highlight itself is a shape, like it's an oval shape and a rectangle. That will be the easy one. But looking at the challenge we have here, it's not exactly a clear shape. It has some texture because the skin of the Mandarin orange. So we might going to combine a little bit white and as well as just paint it in to the highlight with a small brush later. We're ready to talk about the painting process. Need to get all the brushes that I'm planning to use to soften, make it prepared enough. I'm making sure it's wet and the hair is comfortable. And I put it on the side, and I'm going to use this round brush. This is number 14 round brush and a sable brush. Make sure it's really soft. Also going to use a small brush. So I also pick up this small sable brush and making sure it's really soft and comfortable, and I put it on the side. And second, I want to tell you the color that I use. Usually what I used are three primary colors. I use this prism blue, Windsor red, Windsor yellow deep, and I also have burnt umber as well burnt sienna. I clean up half of my color palettes. I clean up one side, and the other side I left it there because I need to leave one side for some fresh colors. But this color, I might just gonna pick it up to use it for somewhere on the paintings. Talk about the plan for the paintings. I always try to come up with a plan for the painting process, even though in the process of painting, I might change it. This is what I'm thinking to do. I'm gonna first apply the first colors on the Mandarin orange. This is only gonna be the first layer. I will add other layers on the top after it dries. And then I'm going to start working on to the rest of the background. After the background dry, and then I work back to the Mandarin orange and the leaves, pick up some details, lift off reflected light. Let's start with the Mandarin orange. So I use this number 14 round brush. I'm going to mix the Windsor yellow deep with some red colors. Okay, pick a little red color from here. That mixed together, that's the orange colors. So that should be good enough to start. And I'm going to put it on this side. And I would paint around the green colors. It's supposed to be over there on the stem. And I'm going to move it down. And once it's wet, I'm keep moving quickly, and I pick up a little water and take more colors, and here we go. Okay. And as I said, what we put on at this step, this is only the first layers, and the color will appear to be lighter after you dry, but we're gonna put the second layer later and pick the color again, and I'm going to put it on this side, the light side. So I'm going to tap in some of the color inside the highlight, create a little texture now. So it's not gonna be looks like just a Y shape. That we're gonna do more in a later step to the highlight, and create a little more red in here Get a little bit more of the yellow dip, and this area actually look more red. I'm gonna add a little bit more red here. Put it here. A little bit more red in this area. And to this part. And on this side, I'm going to make it a little darker by adding some the blue colors. That is just the Parisian blue. A little bit more red, make it look more like a purple, brownish purple colors. Okay, that is good. I'm going to put it on this side. Because it's the paper is still wet, the color would be blend together smoothly because it's the wetness on the paper. Okay, so this is our first layer. We're gonna wait for it dry before we work in outside the background. The paper already dry. We're gonna work on outside the orange areas and also include the catch the shadow, the background over here. We're gonna use this 1-inch flat brush. Let's see what kind of color we're gonna mix with. Well, I'm gonna mix on this side. And the background, it has all kind of colors. It has some blue, has some red, have some yellow. So it's some colors already here, but it may be have a little bit more blue than yellow and red, which is right now most of the color here is look more as brown colors. So let's see. Get a little more blue in here. Maybe a little bit red in here. Get a little red in here. I think that's good. A little bit more red in here, and have some yellow color. Move it in right here. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna starting from the top over here. Do it really quickly, moving down this way. And I'm gonna leave some area, maybe keep it a little light because I want some a light shape. Get a little red on the side over here. Okay, keep going into the areas. For the leaves down here a little bit darker, so I don't worry about that. That get into the area of the leaves. It will be fine. Getting in there will be okay. A little bit more water. So quickly cover most of the areas, and including up here. I want a bit more water. Get into that. I want to wash into this areas. Now is the whole paper except inside the orange is pretty wet. Lots of water. The water very saturated, and outside here. And I also want to make a little red color come out from this area, and like that. It does have kind of reflected colors from the orange color, the orange into the background. But more important, I would focus a lot more on how dark is the colors is. So get a little more mix, more like a purplish colors, and I'm gonna get it in here. That is the shape. I want to keep that. move some shape in here, some shape over there. There's lots of water on the paper, so I know it's just any shape that you put it on the paper now, it may not keep that kind of shape. The shape will be broken, it will be blurred, and will be getting into. So let's take a look. What I'm going to do at this stage, I also want to use lifting off technique to try to make some light area into shape. Okay. Just remove the drive look, and I'm also going to lift off some of the area here to connect it. So, that shape. Some light area I want to keep. I want to make this some light area here. Okay, some here too. I want to keep that little shape over here. To see the motion, I'm going to lift up the color on the other side and maybe close to the orange here. I'm also going to clear the color over here. Now I make a little light shape by lifting off some areas. I don't want that kind of dry look, so I smooth that a little bit like that, and maybe a little bigger shape over here. So this is the wet stage. So you can, by lifting off the colors and or putting them color in, they're going to be still going to look very smooth. And let's take a look. We might put some dark color over there. You see, it's still very wet, but we're going to try to see it with how the reaction will be. Okay. Make a little red colors into the blue. Make a little kind of purplish colors. So as you see, most of the color I use, and so far all the color I use is only the 3 primary colors. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some shape on this side and get in here, have a little more color here, and maybe a little bit there, and may also going to just add some dark color into the cast shadow. Okay, and also at this time I'm also going to add some colors onto the shadow side of the Mandarin orange. Okay, like that. So, hang on. I clean my brush. I'm also going to my clean water buckets here. And now, just use a clean brush to lead the colors, the new colors, into the existing layer. Let's get a little bit more color. Okay, good. Okay, lay it up here, down here, good. Okay, now what we're gonna do next, we're gonna wait until the background dries, and then we're gonna come back to work on the leaves. After all the color in place in the painting, and we're gonna do the adjustment. At this step, we're gonna work into the leaves, apply the color to the leaf, and this is the last portion that we need to set the color in. And this is all the first round of colors. Let's take a look at the leaves. I don't have green colors in the color palette, The green color I mix from, always mix from yellow and blue colors. Okay. Clean the brush first and pick some yellow colors into here. Okay, I'm going to starting from lighter green colors into the darker shadow green colors, and this would be more likely, maybe not so bright, to make the intensity going down. I just need to mix with the opposite colors, the complementary colors, versus the red colors. Okay, we're gonna see. First, put it down over here. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Got a little water into it, so make it easier to move the colors. Okay, starting like this, and then I'm gonna make some darker green colors and moving it on this side. I need to get a little more red color into here, so the saturation is going to be lower, cutting down this way. Okay. And get into the area of these leaves. Attack that from this side. Okay. Make a little darker, so I'm gonna mix a little purplish colors at the bottom over here, and still add a little yellow color into the mixture. Will be look like a dark, but close to dark green colors. Here we go. To that area, and then use the same dark colors. I'm going to start painting into the stamp area here. Okay, we go. Okay, add the color, dark color into this area. Okay, now I'm making sure the color dark enough for these areas, and come up here. Okay, that's good. And this area, you need a little bit lighter green color, so I'm gonna leave it for now. But I'm gonna move the same color, dark color, into here. But when you see closer to the reference, you see a little warmer sense of color. So I just add a little red color in here, because affected by the orange, this area. But on the other side, I'm going to start using a small brush and then add the lighter green colors, but not so bright. So I'm going to take that little blue color, get into this area. The color palette is a little bit cleaner, so I'm going to add a little bit less intense, which is add the complementary colors, which is the red colors, and get in here. Okay, like that. I'm going to leave the space, a little space in between the two colors for now, and I'm going to get into the stem area. I'm going to get a little more yellow here. There you go, a little more yellow colors. Okay, get down here. That's the light side of the stem. Okay. color over here too. Okay, and I'm going to add some dark color on the shadow side. It may not be ready at this point. We're going to see. It's a little too wet. I'm going to stop. I'm going to start from here, and until it drier, and I will add them color back into the area. The top, this area is ready, so I'm going to add some fresh colors, more like a fresh green colors, light green colors. Here we go. That colors. Okay, I'm gonna put it in here. That's the light area. And after it dries, I just tap a little dark color around, and that will be finished the area. Maybe at this point, I'm going to take out a little colors, so make it a little lighter. If you want something lighter, take the color away, because it's watercolor. It's pretty easy this way. So now it's have been taken care of. We're waiting for it dry before we get into lift off some colors, make it a little light details there. I may add a little dark color there. But at this point, we are okay to start working into other areas, like the background colors areas, and as well as the Mandarin orange. We get ready for the second layers. Okay, what we're gonna do at this point, and we are going to we're going to add the second layer to the orange, as well as working more into the catch the shadow in this area. This is much darker at this point, and there's some color we need to lift off so that it make it lighter. It has a reflected light up there, and we may need to also work into the table cloth area. I'm going to switch wood to a big round brush, and I'm going to start adding some red colors into this side. Just the red colors. You see that is pretty warm, very warm colors. Here we go. This side. Okay, wash that into this area. Here we go. Okay, I can use sometimes use the side way of the brush, sometimes use the straight, paint it straight up and down like that. Okay, I'm gonna add a little more yellow deep colors in here to this side, make it a little bit more fresh orange. Okay, go around that, and I'm going to also start blending a little light orange colors from the side here. Okay. Try to make it less predictable in the highlight here. Okay, over there, and I'm going to lessen the textures over here, and some color I want to make it a little lighter. Okay, some darker red colors, some red colors, some red color we're going to apply into here. Take some red color. Okay, it's good, much richer now. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start lifting off some colors from the bottom over here. So just use the tip of the brush, start moving a little bit. Now the areas get lighter. I like it. Okay, I'm gonna keep it like that. And since I already make this area red, at this point I'm not gonna paint it into this catch the shadow area. Instead, I'm gonna do something underneath here. It looks like a little bit kind of brownish colors here. So I'm gonna put some brownish color over here. Okay, maybe down here you have a little color. I can connect it a little warm color here. Okay. So after I put the color, I don't want the color have a sharp edge around. So I want to make it a little soften by apply some water around that color. Like that right here. Okay. Try not to connect with the wet areas. And also going to use a little light blue purple colors. I'm going to starting from this areas and getting up like that. I also have this shape over here to enforce it, the shape. I like that shape. But I also do the same thing, make it a little soften from the top over there. And I'm gonna loosen the white shape right here. I already prepare myself for the next round for the catch the shadow. I'm gonna get rid of the contrast in this area as well. And I'm gonna start also lift off some colors here. As I'm doing all this outside the leaf and orange areas, and I allowed the leaf and orange areas, the green color and orange color getting dry. And I decided I'm going to use my flat brush, doing a little bit better. Because when you keep using a small round brush, a smaller brush, and even though my round brush is not that small, but it will introduce more and more texture into the background, which is I don't want. Okay, now this big brush, it helps to uniform the texture. Okay, good. And this can remove some color here. Okay, I think the leaves is ready for us to work into it. And then after that area dry and the leaf dry, and then I go ahead, come back to finish to catch the shadow. And let's come back here. The first thing I'm gonna do, I'm going to put some little dark colors in this area. Okay, here we go. And on the edge over here, a little bit, and we're going to come back to use lifting off colors, lifting off technique to create some light over there. And that needs to be a little darker here, a little darker over there. And I also add some dark colors into this area. There you go. Even though the new colors is not really dark, but you know, translucent watercolors is new color. Add to it, it would add to on top of the colors, kind of like a an addition to the old colors. Even though the new color is not that dark, it will be added up to the existing colors. The color, the overall colors, it will look darker anyway. Okay, that's good. And then I start making on this side a little bit darker, like that. And then on this side, the shadow side of the stem, I'm going to start putting some darker green colors, and which is a darker tone, and start moving in that. Here we go. I'm going to add that color in here, adding a little small shape over there. There we go, like this. Okay, that looks good. And then I'm gonna connect that dark color into this side. I want this side a little bit lighter, so I lift off some colors from here. Okay, now I need to come back to this area and try to lift off some highlight. Now I need to come back here to do some lifting off process here. And first, okay, some lighter shade on this side. Okay, a little lighter on this side. Okay, a little bit, couple small line shape right here. Oh, that's good enough to suggest it. And a little light shape over here. Looks like I need to come back later when it totally dry to add some darker tone in this area, and there's some area over here too. But we're gonna leave it for now. Now this area is already dry on the shadow side, close to dry, and I'm gonna come back here to start working onto the catch the shadow area. So I'm gonna use my flat brush, starting with some warm dark colors. I'm gonna use that. That would be a good color, a good warm colors, purplish, warm purplish colors. I'm gonna add a little bit more red, into here. Okay, that is a dark and warm colors. A little bit more red. Okay, I'm gonna start it on this side. Okay, a little more red. I'm gonna get a little bit more red. Making sure the color's good. Okay, make sure it's just blended. You don't want some red colors, solid red colors on one side of the brush. Okay, just use the portion of the brush. It's a big brush. Okay, now it's good. I ran this color in here, and then I'm gonna start, and the color have changed from here, and the outside here have a little bit more blue, so I'm going to get rid of most of the colors on my brush, and I get rid of the blue colors here, a little bit blue color here, start looking into. Yeah. Right there. Okay, that's pretty good. I like that, the deep colors. Now I clean my brush, and it says head of star blending into the background, including here. Okay, start blending here, use this color now to confirm the Y shape. Now, good. Now the color, and then right there. Okay, whether or not I want that much dry texture, or maybe I don't have enough. Totally. Maybe I want some dry texture around here, or maybe not. Totally depends on how you feel about the balance. Make a little bit of texture over here, maybe too much there. And I think there's too much texture here. So I use the brush, it just to smooth that a little bit. I don't want that too much distraction from this area. Okay. Okay, good. And here I want to lift off that colors. I think there's too much color getting here. Just make a little lighter. Okay, good. It's fine. That should be a little lighter too. Just using the clean brush, just lift off the colors. Now it look lighter. Now the background and catch the shadow looking good. Now I'm gonna also using lift off to create a shape over here of the lighter shape. Just using this side of the brush. Like that. That's good. Okay. I want to get rid of this texture. Good. Too much texture over there. Okay, that's good. So next what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back to the orange before I come here, create some darker value in the area to separate the two leaves. But right now I need another round on the orange. Use lifting off, fix the highlight area. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the big round brush. I'm going to start having some lift off techniques. Start moving some areas. Return it back to light. Something I want to lift it. Now this is a combination of leave it white and lifting off to create that kind of feeling of the texture highlight. Maybe a little lighter right here. Okay, I think the highlight looks good. Now I'm going to come into use the flat brush, start adding some another rich layers into the orange. I want that to be a little bit more warmer, a little warmer right here. Okay, good. Starting here. Adding it from here to the bottom. Good. Okay, it's good. Now clean my brush, and I'm gonna mix some orange colors. So I'm gonna add some yellow, deep, and then mix a little orange colors, and I'm putting it right outside here, the light side, and then connect with the red colors into this area. Okay, some color into that area too. Okay, good. And okay, that's very good. And I'm gonna use just the clean brush. I want to just add a little wet to the outside so it connected, not create the any sharp edge texture. And I turn it to use my round brush, just add a little red colors into here, and the top over here. There we go, there's some darker red colors right here. Okay, good. And I want to lift off a little shape right here. Okay. Okay, we're gonna leave some light on the top here because the reflected from the top, and a lot of colors right here. Okay, it's good, and I can return some lighter values here by just removing a lot of colors. That's good. Okay, we're gonna wait for a little bit until it dries, and we're gonna evaluate and what we're gonna do, what we need to do, except over here a little bit darker. Okay, smooth that a little bit, and I'm going to add some really darker tone to the leaf to create a little depth in between the purplish colors. Okay, that should be a good colors. Maybe a little too dark, so make it a little lighter. Find a little colors, make it a little lighter. Get rid of most of the colors in the brush. Okay, I'm gonna pick this color too. Now start putting into this area. You see that? You see the separations between that. And some deep colors here. And we want and adding a little darker colors into those. Now it's good. You know, even you use a big round brush, you still can make a smaller stroke by not pressure the brush too much onto the paper. Okay, now on the shadow side, a little more on this. Good. That's good. A little bit on this side. Okay, that's good. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean the brush. Just going to connect those colors into the existing layer. Here we go. Okay, connect that into here. Okay, good. Up here can be a little bit darker too. Okay, that's much better in the lip area now. Okay, connect it a little bit. Okay, that's good. And maybe up here need a little darker tone. Right That's much better now. And we're gonna wait until it dries to do the last round. I do like that color, probably a little bit too much. I want to get rid of that textures and after everything settled.